Okay, the last meeting on our agenda is the meeting of the Urbana City Council. I'll call the meeting to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Hazen.
Here.
Jacobson. Miller.
Here.
Roberts.
Here.
Wu. Mayor Marlin.
Here. Next up is approval of the minutes from the November 19th, 2018 meeting. Is there a
I'll move
motion
approval.
for approval? Was that Bill?
I'll second it.
Moved by Bill, seconded by Jared. Are there any corrections? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Next up is additions or changes to the agenda. I do have one change under new business, item 3. That's going to be removed from the agenda and rescheduled. Do we need to approve that?
Yeah, probably.
Is there a motion for approving that change?
I'll make a motion that we remove item number 3 from new business and reschedule it at a future meeting of the City Council.
I'll second it.
Moved by Dennis, seconded by Jared. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that motion has been removed. We have 3 public input cards. First from Kirsten Ruby, who wanted to talk about City Code Chapter 20, Section -20-3.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm addressing the Urbana City Council tonight to ask you to take action and enforce an ordinance, specifically Section 20-3 of Chapter 20 of the City Code. When the accumulation of ice or algae creates hazard to the public that are not readily dissipated from the normal weather changes, they are considered public nuisances and must be abated within a reasonable period of time. This code prohibits hazardous sump pump discharges onto public right-of-way. When a public nuisance from sump pump discharge is identified, the owner of the property will be notified in writing of the violation and given a time frame for correction. The alley behind my home on South Smith Road has been experiencing a hazard from adjoining sump pump discharge for more than 3 years, and the city has yet to remedy the situation. This alley is the only access to the mailboxes and garages of several families. The alley was approved by the City of Urbana when the subdivision was constructed and is considered a public right-of-way. In the summer, this discharge is muddy, stinking, and an eyesore. The puddle never dries. There is always a pool of stagnant, mosquito-bearing water in the weeds adjacent to the water seepage that continually flows down the alley even on dry days. In the winter, this constant flow of water creates an even greater hazard, as it is continually freezing, adding a layer of water and refreezing to a thick sheet of ice. This ice sheet jeopardizes health and safety as the alley is not safe to walk in. The ice sheet also blocks access to mailboxes. In a city that aspires to be sustainable, if I want my mail, the only safe way to reach it is by car. Let me repeat, in the winter, if I want to collect the mail that is 40 feet from my back door, I must drive. The constant freezing and thawing of this large amount of water has created numerous cracks and caused chunks of concrete to pop up from around the storm drain. I've been in contact with Justin Swinford, a civil engineer in Urbana's Public Works Department, quarterly for 3 years about this issue. His excuses for why this hazard is not abated are numerous. The responsibility to redirect the sump pump discharge lies with the homeowner whose property backs up to the alley. The Public Works Department notified this homeowner on January 19, 2016 to fix the problem within 90 days, or the city would step in to resolve the issue. That was 1,049 days ago, 2 years, 10 months, 14 days. While the ordinance allows the city to grant a reasonable amount of time to fix a problem, an extension that has reached 959 days is frankly outrageous. The Urbana Public Works Department has repeatedly prioritized the offending property owner's lack of interest over the safety of several families whose access to our garages, our mailboxes, the main entrance to our homes is compromised. Public Works has failed to enforce Ordinance Section 20-3 of Chapter 20 of the City Code. Last week, when I again contacted Justin to ask about the situation and inform him of the accumulating ice and hazards, he threatened to erect barricades to close off the alley and deny access, rather than enforce the ordinance the city has been neglecting for 3 years. Tonight, I ask the City Council to take action, demand accountability, enforce this ordinance, immediately stop the sump pump discharge by connecting the offending sump pumps to the storm sewer with or without the cooperation of the responsible property owners, and repair the damage to the concrete and area surrounding the storm drain that has occurred. I'd like a commitment that this connection will be a priority, that the operations group of the city will daily treat the alley with salt to keep the ice down, that it will not barricade and remove access to the alley, and that the 3 years of excuses for why this hazard has not been resolved will stop. Please make this right. Thank you.
I have one question.
Dean?
Sure.
Yeah, first of all, I apologize to you that I haven't got more personally involved in this. I've had some life events that have limited my time, but maybe 7, 8 months ago, you and I talked on email, maybe a year ago, and at that time I contacted Public Works and was told that they meaning Public Works, was close to striking a deal with the property owner where they were going to tap into the sewage system. Have you gotten any feedback from what happened back then?
It's still not resolved, no.
Any explanation or?
The property owner has not been interested in connecting to the city storm sewer, and apparently that is all it takes to not connect the city to the city storm sewer.
Carol?
Okay.
I'm still, and I'm sorry we didn't connect yet.
Sure.
Let me give you the short answer, and I'm still investigating like how this was able to go on as long as it has. It's possible that we need additional tools from the council. But the period that we're in right now is the city has installed an extension of the storm sewer to this property, and we're in a 90-day period right now where the property owner, at their expense, needs to now connect to that storm sewer. If they do not, at the end of this 90-day period, the city will make the connection for them and then bill the property owner. And I'm trying to remember, I think they got the notice sometime in early October, the property owner. So 90 days from that notice, I have talked to Justin, and if they don't do it, we will do it. So I happen to be the interim public works director in addition to my other role. So we're going to make this right. The property owner is either going to do it or we will do it. We're not going to sit on it after that. So we're going to give them an additional notice. I talked to Justin. When we hit 30 days out, we're going to remind them again. They have a remaining 30 days, and then we will resolve it.
What is the cost?
I don't know what the cost is. I know it will be more expensive if the city does it.
And is hooking to the sewer the only solution to drain it?
My understanding is they tried something when it initially became a problem, and that was not that turned out not to be a permanent solution. So this is a permanent solution. Frankly, I'd like to understand better how, our subdivision ordinance and our development ordinances work, that we would allow this to exist in the first place. But that's to be determined.
At my home currently in Behringer, our sump pump goes, I don't know what you call these items, but they pop up and the water kind of goes onto your lawn and then it soaks back down into the earth. And it's just kind of this constant circling thing that's going on, or cycling thing. But I used to live at 1606 Bunker Court, and my sump pump ran nonstop. There's a tremendous amount of water down there. I don't know why, just the slope of the land or what, but I could see. Yeah, I can see how this happened. So we're hitting the end of a 90-day deadline.
It'll
again.
be in January
And then the
that
city
we get to the end.
will go in and
We will do it.
do it for them.
I'm making you that commitment. We will do it.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you for calling this to our attention for 3 years. We will do it.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We have cards from Reverend Dr. Evelyn B. Underwood. She chooses not to address members, but wishes to express we are continually concerned about the Dr. Ellis subdivision sewer problem. a card from Eldris Melinda Carr, who wishes to express continued concerns about the Dr. Ellis subdivision sewer issues, equity, and historic input. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is unfinished business. Seeing none, reports of standing committees, reports of special committees, reports of officers.
Nothing, Elizabeth?
You have a committee report, Dennis? Was that a hand raised?
I think that maybe special committee. We
Okay.
passed it by. Because I was encouraged by our city clerk to mention, and maybe you're going to make this mention? Were you going to make that mention today?
I was not.
All right, well, I'll just make it now. Because usually I try to promote the city's events, and I try to promote the city's birthdays, which sometimes we celebrate publicly, and sometimes we just mention them here in the city council building to remind people that Urbana is unique and has a birthday, just like other institutions and people. But today is exactly the 200th birthday of the state of Illinois, and if you saw the Sunday paper, the section here was a lot of fun. Also, this big article in the newspaper, and I'm not going to read them or elaborate on the fact that today is the 200th birthday of the state of Illinois, and I'm not even sure what number it was when it came in. I didn't look that up. I was intending to, but I did not. But anyways, today is Illinois' birthday. Very happy birthday to us all. And if you saw a couple of months ago, we had a very handsome commemorative stamp for our anniversary published by the post office, and I was able to buy some at that time. I don't think they are available today. Too late. You didn't go out and get them early. But it's the 200th birthday is like a significant one, and we're not celebrating it in particular here in the city of Urbana. I'm not quite sure how we might have missed that, but if it's still before midnight, you can go out and raise the flag at your house.
Charlie?
I was just going to point out that the News Gazette has another, I think it's Tom Casey has an article in today's paper with some 20 questions type things. It's quite informative. And my wife was able to get stamps just the other day.
Oh, it was. Okay, yeah, that's the 20 questions.
Bill requested that I sing tonight, but I'm not going to do that.
Thank you, Dean.
That didn't seem very sincere, Mayor.
But it was. Any other reports of officers? I did want to announce that, as you know, we have a vacancy on the City Council for Ward 3. The applications for that seat are now available, several locations. Paper copies are available in the city clerk's office, at the Urbana Free Library, both first floor and second floor, and at the Douglas Branch Library. There also can be downloaded from the city's webpage, and it's on the home page. The link is there. We'll be taking applications through the month of December, so I encourage anyone who is interested in serving the final 2 years of Councilmember Ammon's term to consider it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and give me a call, and we can answer any questions you have. So again, the applications are available several areas around town. Thank you. New business, just 2 items tonight. An appointment to the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. I wanted to nominate Morgan White. She has been selected by the University of Illinois to serve as the rep for the university on the Urbana Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission. Ms. White is Associate Director at Facilities and Services, Director of Sustainability at FNS. Currently, she serves on the Urbana Sustainability Advisory Commission and previously served as a commissioner on BPAC, and I would add she's also an Urbana resident.
I'll move approval of that appointment.
I'll second it.
That's moved by Jared, seconded by Dean. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Last item under new business, approval of the annual city council meeting schedule.
I'll
City
move
clerk.
approval of the schedule.
Okay. Moved by Jared.
Charlie's raising it.
Well, let's get a second, and then we'll
I'll second it.
move, seconded by Dean. Charlie, comments?
Okay, I just wanted to point out that there are 4 Tuesday meetings through the year. There's no early January meeting, which is nice, but there is a meeting on the schedule for Monday, December 23rd. The last would be, which would be December has actually 5 Mondays that in December. So you may want to consider right now whether you want to have that committee of the whole meeting on that holiday week or not. Last year you dropped it.
Yeah, I'll be out anyway, so it's up to the rest of you.
Yeah.
This is December 23rd next year.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, December 23rd next year.
Way off. Okay. I'll probably be here.
I feel like if we need to, we can do it then, if we got to postpone it.
Okay, you just want to leave it on the schedule and then cancel it as appropriate?
Yeah, when we find out more
Yeah, it's too early to call for me.
people's travel plans for the holidays and maybe lack of business may cancel it automatically.
Okay. Sounds like we will go with the schedule as presented with the change, the only change being the town board, well, we've already done that. You don't have to think about that with council. All right, is there a motion for approving? We already have the motion made by Jared, seconded by Dean. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? That motion passes. All right, with no further business before this council, the meeting is adjourned.